Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet, and today the Sunday morning cycle ride. My wife and I, over probably the past 4 Sundays, have utilised the time to take a bike ride somewhere in the order of 9 miles, sometimes 6 miles, sometimes 12 miles, but usually enough where we're cycling for an hour or more. Sometimes an hour and a half, but usually well more than an hour. The Sunday morning bike rides have taken a variety of forms. Sometimes we go out as soon as we get up, sometimes we wait for the weather to change slightly, but usually it involves just a lot of cycling through the streets sometimes, through cycle paths other times, and always in different directions. It's something that I think is really critical, particularly because I lead a relatively sedentary life, unfortunately. I try to change that as much as possible. The gardening helps. But realistically, in my day-to-day, in my day job, I'm sitting in a cubicle for an extended period of time, tapping on a computer, not really getting out there, exercising, not moving my body in any excessive way. So it really is wonderful to go on a bike ride, just to remind oneself that one has the ability to move around quite easily on this thing, this bicycle. For a year or so, I had a second-hand bike that I'd picked up at a second-hand bike store, where basically I paid exactly the same as a new bike, but for a second-hand bike, and that bike was just horrible. I cycled it a few times, but it really wasn't something that was fun to ride. It wasn't something that got me out and interested in going for a bike ride. I donated this piece of metal to charity, as one does, and I purchased a new bike that realistically will not be a lifetime bike, but at least will be a bike for the next 10 years. And certainly a bike that I really enjoy riding currently. It has everything that I need, including a little bell, which I utilize frequently, particularly going down cycle paths that are twisty and turny, where I can't see what is happening about 10 feet in front of me, just to warn other cyclists. It's also very useful for warning pedestrians and these kind of things. I think I've always had a bell on my bike, and I've always utilized it to the max. In addition to this, it has a water bottle carrier, and also it has a central, I don't know what one would call it, like a box unit where I can put my cell phone that will give me directions and various other kinds of things. It's considerably smarter than any bike I've owned previously, and it's something that I feel relatively proud about as we cycle it around. Last week we went on some light rail, which required me to put my bike up in a hanger. I looked up at the hanger and thought to myself, I don't want this rusty piece of metal rubbing up against my beautiful bike for an extended period of time. I don't think I'll be using light rail with my bike again, although my wife did enjoy the trip, so it was something to do. I'm interested actually potentially taking my bike up to Mountain View, where these kind of things, the trains allow for people with bicycles to travel. If I take a Caltrain up, it'd be quite nice to be able to cycle around those areas for a period of time, and it would also add some kind of transitional element to our general cycling. There is a limited number of ways, a limited number of places that we can see in our area in San Jose, but the ability to go up to Mountain View or Palo Alto creates a different kind of cycling experience that I'm sure we will be experimenting with through the summer months. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.